Tom Stone is the pioneer of the emerging field of human software engineering. Tom is an internationally acclaimed speaker and presenter. The following are segments from his extraordinary leadership training program. His out-of-the-box approach helps people rapidly resolve inner conflicts and upgrade their inner human software to powerfully enhance leadership and performance.
We're pioneering a new field called human software engineering. This involves some deep insights into the nature of human conditioning that allow us to identify and resolve the inner conflicts that get in the way of being able to be an extraordinary leader. In the Extraordinary Leadership Program, we have 12 core barriers to being able to live from a place of extraordinary leadership. And we're going to be talking about one of those barriers. It's called limiting possibilities. This is one of the core, we call it the operating system level of the barriers that get in the way of extraordinary leadership. And in order to begin to understand this, we need to start by understanding the distinction between thinking and knowing. We need to understand the distinction between intellectual understanding and direct experience. And so in order to make the point, I'm going to have somebody pass out these strawberries for me. Thank you very much. So go ahead and take some, or one, and we're going to be taking a bite. Hold off, and we'll take a bite in just a moment. Very good. Appreciate that. Yeah. That'll be fine. Great. Thank you. All right. Now, everyone who's got a strawberry, let's have a bite. Okay. Now, what does a strawberry taste like?
It's really sweet.
Beautiful, sweet. Somebody else? Juicy, yeah?
Seeds are a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, a little crunchy, and?
It tastes like a strawberry.
Right. Exactly. When we try to describe the experience of a strawberry, words don't do it justice. Can you imagine somebody who had never tasted a strawberry? Would these descriptions that we've just given, would these do it for the person? Would they get the sense of what the taste of a strawberry is like? No. Absolutely not. This is right. Tom Stone Consulting has been conducting a very interesting and penetrating research over the past 12 years into the nature of human conditioning to give us deeper understanding of what it is that might limit our capacity to feel. After all, we don't even really think about the concept of even questioning what is our capacity to experience things, to sense things, to feel things. But in fact, as we just found with the tasting of the strawberry, we can't really know something without directly experiencing it, right? So if we need to directly experience something, and if our capacity to experience is limited, we're not going to really be able to know things fully for what they are. So it's a little bit like this. If you had a computer in your company, let's say you had all the computers in your company, and they had modern hardware, they were running, Pentium 4 processors, gigabytes of RAM, and you suddenly discovered that half of the computers in the company were running on DOS, what would you do? You would upgrade, right? You'd upgrade the software, immediately upgrade the operating system. Now, what if you discovered that a bunch of the people, in fact, most of the people in your company, were running on an inner human software operating system that was about like DOS? So what would you do? If you could, if there were a way, what you would do is to upgrade the operating system of the inner human software of those people, wouldn't you? Yeah. Of course. Well, this is now possible. In the Extraordinary Leadership Program, we train everyone who participates in the skills of not just the 12 barriers to extraordinary leadership, but also 5 extraordinary leadership techniques that actually allow you to learn to be self-sufficient in identifying and resolving the inner barriers to being a truly extraordinary leader. So in the Extraordinary Leadership Program, using the human software engineering insights and techniques, these insights into the nature of human conditioning that limit us from being able to really live extraordinary leadership, extraordinary performance, extraordinary wellness, extraordinary anything. One of the core barriers to extraordinary leadership is called ignoring your instincts. And this is a fascinating one. When we're little, we all have experiences of doing something that comes from our inner nature, our inner creative impulse. For example, we paint a picture all over the bedroom wall with a blue felt tip marker. And here we think it's this great masterpiece, and then our parents don't really agree. And we get punished for it. And what's the inner experience on the part of us as a little child? We experience the punishment as an emotionally overwhelming experience. It triggers all kinds of emotions in us of, fear and anger and upset and overwhelm, all kinds of things. Do we like it? No. So what happens is we make a decision to not act on our intuition, on our instincts, because we feel if we do, we've had one or two or three or many experiences of having negative consequences for it. So what happens now is we're grown up, is we have an instinct or an intuition, a creative impulse, and right after it is that fear of some terrible negative consequence. And now we have ways, new techniques and new technologies for being able to pinpoint exactly the patterns of energy of that fear with human software engineering and wipe them out so they're completely gone. Who here would like to be able to trust and act on your instincts and intuition every single time? Fantastic. And let me ask you this. Have you had an experience of having an intuition, not acting on it, and then later you could just kick yourself, like really regretting it? Everybody, right? Yeah. So this is what we want to get over. Imagine if everyone in a company could actually trust and act on their instincts every single time. Can you imagine what it would do to the bottom line of a company to upgrade the inner human software of everyone in the company so that they could truly live extraordinary leadership, extraordinary performance, and imagine the impact that this would have on the bottom line?